I'm recording this because I'm in the second day of trying to understand what type of design language Connectedesign has. And that's morphing more into what can AI do to help virtual teams collect. How do I collect data? How do I collect how do I help remote teams collect information, creative information during discovery that they would completely miss if they didn't use technology? So I got to figure out a way to say that. Let me try again. I'm performing an exercise to try to understand how technology can be used in an environment where groups of people have come together to develop ideas. When groups of people get together to develop ideas, they are often in a room without a lot of technology. Without that technology, they are not able to record all of the information that is being captured during that collaborative session. Generally speaking, when groups of people get together in a conference room or some other, we'll call it, creative environment where there's brainstorming taking place. It doesn't have to be, when you're talking about a development process, this can happen in any settings, can happen in any meeting. So think of the possibilities outside of Connectedesign where we need to use technology to capture information that we wouldn't be seeing, hearing, sensing, feeling, touching, smelling, tasting, all of these. So we're talking about 6 W tags: who, what, where, when, why, how. W at the end of how is the 6th W, and 6 senses, whatever the sensories are: sight, sound, taste, smell, touch. I don't know. I'll count later how many senses that are. That's not important right now. But there's no reason why we should not be capturing that information. And it's almost like this quote from Don's book that says that only, when surveyed, 98.5% of product developers can qualify and quantify their cost of delay in their product development process. Okay, so this is just as big of an idea here to say that when groups of people are getting together and they're trying to solve problems, they do it in an instinctual way, and they don't realize that they could easily set up technology in the room, in the space, to capture a lot of different inputs. And some of the inputs that I wrote down on my board that are not captured are, and I understand that this is backwards for now, but I'll tell you that I have written down, motion capture, facial recognition, the geolocation, what an environment makes people act a certain way, behave a certain way. We know that 93% of communication is nonverbal. If 93% of communication is nonverbal, and we're in a room with a whiteboard and a couple of Post-it notes and stickers, that means that we are, and those are analog tools. I thought of the value of capturing this information just in a digital system, a digital whiteboard, a digital dashboard, a digital checklist, a digital template, and all those things. Those tools are extremely valuable. What I forgot, and instinctually in my head, and I'm just as much as at fault of this as everyone else. But as far as like understanding how body language, forensics, governments, how they collect this and understand the psychology of how people interact, how they think, how they communicate, how they portray their ideas, how they construct their ideas, the languages that they use, the different, their different backgrounds, their qualifications, their skills, their subject matter expert domains, all of this information. If you get a group of people in a conference room that are together, they you think that they're capturing even 7% of the information that would be valuable? No, they're probably 0.7% capturing the information that's valuable, especially in early product development process. So by simply constructing an environment with digital tools, technology, technical tools, systems design, motion recognition, image capture, motion capture, the gestures, the movements that we make. I talk about the fact in the recording how much I'm perspiring, but that's normal. I made a comment to say that it's normal that I perspire this amount. Okay. I talk in the recording about how I can hear, I describe myself, and then as I'm playing it back to myself, I can hear myself smiling, which is an amazing data point, because when I'm smiling, that could mean that has high value. Okay, when you're making a meeting, a summary of meeting or meeting minutes of a brainstorming session, again, we're talking about, if I'm lucky, I get a photograph, a screen capture, or whatever, a minute of meetings as the record of what's happened and how people have described challenges that they want to overcome, tasks that they want to perform, all those details. I'm lucky if I capture that information, but I'm talking about adding just some simple forms of technology into the environment so that I can have that information. If I can detect that I'm smiling, that's important information to capture. And that's not going to be found on a Post-it note or a whiteboard. So think about that and develop that as we go through. And this is only day 2 of what we're experimenting with. So I'm really excited to see the results that we're going to be coming up with. And I'm going to get my notebook out. I'm going to start sketching. I can think of obviously situations where this will become case study material, abstract material, white papers, topics for podcasts, blogs. I mean, I don't want to hesitate. I'm almost ready to put this out raw video. I could almost imagine, yesterday I had, I was going crazy with my Post-it notes, and I realized that, depending on how I have my camera oriented, if I use markers, here's a good example. Words can, markers bleed through Post-it notes, so that even if I have the camera up backwards, or if I flip something over, I find it that, we're talking about language, we're talking about how people communicate here, and all of these different tools, from markers, erasers, the sound, the gesture, the motion, how much I'm sweating, the lighting, the audio that's being picked up. I have all these tools that have data points for me. And if I am only reading a meeting minute memo or email or summary, or if maybe I go back and listen to a web meeting that's been recorded, which so often so many people don't do because they don't like hearing themselves or they don't like seeing themselves on camera. People, we need to get over that. We have to overcome those biases, and we need to get over ourselves and just be like, you know what, who cares? If I got a booger hanging on my nose right now, if I just came up with a really great idea, I'm not going to be. Maybe I'll be remembered for the guy with the booger hanging out his nose with that really great idea. But that's a really awesome story to tell. So that's it for now. Talk to you soon, guys. Looking forward to seeing what happens next.